Hey everyone, Sebastian Torres. I had an idea last night and I downloaded this picture off the internet as a kind of reference because I had an idea for a half human, half tiger, sort of like chimera. Is it chimera? You know, when they do the hybrids, it's a half sort of thing. And so I wanted to do like a video of it walking towards the camera. And so I thought what I could do is jump into Blender. So I'm going to quickly do that. Jump into Blender. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually create the animation. Well, I won't create the animation cycle. I'll download it. But I'm going to fit the animation cycle into 16 frames as I was doing yesterday and see if I can then extend that 16 frames to make it look like it's moving at normal speed. So that's what I'm going to work on today. Let's see if I can get that going. But the reason why I need to create the walk cycle on Blender is because I want it to have the right movements. I felt like I've tried it in the past when I just go off the cuff when it comes to doing it in ComfyUI, but the walk cycles don't look that great. So let's see what I can come up with. I'm going to use one of these. Where are we? Here we go. Male. Yeah, we'll go with a realistic. There's two different ones. Which one is it? Primitives we don't want. Okay, so I think this is the one that I screwed up. This might be the one that I need. So let's just go with that. Alright, so I'm going to change everything to center it. I don't know why it doesn't just, like, is there a way? I think there might be a way to, when you import it, just to have it centered, like, off straight away. But for some reason, every time I like import it, it's off to one side. It's very annoying. But that's perfect. That's exactly what I need, because I want it to just be like stock standard sort of human. I don't want the human generator. It's got too much information. I just want the walk. And so what we'll do is I'll go into AutoRig Pro. Let's do a smart. So we'll give him an actual rig. Neck, chin. It'd be good if this this is the new version of it, but it'd be really good if in the next version it was all kind of automated. Like it's pretty automated as it is right now, but if you just put it in, you showed it the body, kind of like Mixamo, how Mixamo does it all on its own, that would be very handy. It's a pretty quick system as it is for now. 2 eyeballs. Where are we? Yes. Okay, don't have to worry about the rest of it. Go. There we go. Cool. Alright, so we've got now some facial features. So that's going to be a little easier. Alright. So it's all automated. Okay, so I've got that. I'm going to need a walk cycle. So what I'll do is I'll go to Mixamo, because I've got a bunch of walk cycles already, but they're all female. And you'd think you'd be able to mix them, but the female walk cycle looks way too feminine for the male, so it kind of looks odd, like he's walking very oddly. Let's go with walk. We'll go with this one because it's going to be the tiger character. And we'll go in place. Why is it a female? Okay. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. Okay. And it loops perfectly, which is exactly what we want. And we'll go without skin. Keyframe reduction. No, let's not do reduction. And so it's 30 frames a second, so I want to reduce it down to 16, so that'll be fine there, because that way we can pretty much just halve it when we import it. Alright, so we got that downloaded, and now we can just import it and append it. Okay, so we want to reduce it to 8. The reason why I want to reduce it to 8 is because in the 16 frames I wanted to loop the walk cycle twice. So let's see how that goes. Let's go to frame 8. No. Sixteen frames. All right. I hate doing this every single time. Redefine rest pose, no. So I'm just gonna rough it out. We just need 16, so let's just go with that. Alright, so we're done with that one. Let's see what it looks like. Good way to slow it down. Let's just bring this back. Pretty good. If I had a bit more time, I'd put a tiger's head on it. But I have a sneaking suspicion that this is going to crash when I try and render it, so that's why we want to save. Cool. So Alt rotate X90. Boom. Just make sure the people aren't visible because there's like people down here. And we might have to change his color actually because now he's matching the background a bit too much. So let's just go with that. Okay. All right, let's go with that. So aspect ratio is fine. Let's go 1280 by 720. That way I don't need to resize anything. And frame rate, it doesn't matter. We're gonna go with, oh, should we go? Yeah, we'll go with a video actually now that I think about it. Let's go. I have a really good feeling about this. I think it's gonna work out. Cool. I think, yep, good. All right, let's jump in here and let's load a video. Actually, no, let's bring this over here. I'm gonna need the control nets first. Control net ACN. Yep. Gonna need line art and go with line art and depth. We're gonna need open pose as well, aren't we? All right. It is what it is. I should really just create a group of nodes. Like, I'm pretty sure you can like actually create a set and then save it as a preset sort of thing. So this one, where's the depth? That'll do. Open. That way I can pretty much just do it, like just load one node up and it's got all three of them set up, and if I have to change anything I can just quickly open that and like modify one or two, because the majority of the time I always use the exact same ones. Okay, load video. I always get the wrong one. Load video, upload, that's the right one. Yes. Looks weird. But that's fine because we're going to speed that, well, we're going to slow that down significantly when we go through the other steps that it has to go through. So let's, what are we doing? Depth, we're going to do anything. Yes, I know everyone has told me that I should be using the depth or the Z pass in Blender, but I prefer using this. I just feel like it's got a lot less detail, and then that way it lets the AI kind of imagine the rest of it. So it leaves a little bit of wiggle room is what I'm trying to say. 0.7. What am I doing? And I usually just go with 0.7 and 0.75 to start out with, but then eventually I will mess around with it and refine it depending on what I need. Okay, so that's all connected. That's all connected. Let's put this through. Okay, so I'll kind of explain what's going on. So, still got Tom Cruise down here. Don't need that. So, I'm going to run it through this once and then upscale it and then kind of fix any details before I add the frames, because I found that if I added the frames and then upscaled it, it made it a little bit more difficult to fix later on. But what I'm going to do is bypass that and see what it actually gives me. So don't need that. Everything else I believe is fine. Let's see what it does. I have a feeling I'm forgetting something, but I'm sure that'll show up pretty soon if I did. Now it should be pretty quick because it's only 16 frames, so doing 16 frames in these is pretty fast. Let's just load this up. Okay, so it is picking up a person. Looks like it's kind of struggling. That is so slow. Oh, there we go. All right, sweet. So it is picking up the person, which is great. I was worried that it wouldn't because it is moving so quickly, but then it kind of reads it frame by frame, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah, so I'm just hoping, I may have to put the liner down in terms of like its strength, because I feel like the head on the liner is kind of, it's going to destroy it. I might even have to actually turn off the liner and just go with the other two and see how that works, just depending on what the results are of this, because I feel like the line art from the head and probably even the body will kind of, it'll mess things up, I think, because it's not that muscular. I mean, he's got muscles, but it's not like over the top like what I was hoping for. And I feel like depth and open pose may just be enough for what I actually need. Let's have a look here. Yeah, see, this kind of looks weird. That looks fine. And see, that would be perfect. So let's see what it gives us now. If it's actually working. Oh, it's loading the model. Never mind. Okay, I think the people in the back have kind of ruined it a little bit. I'm trying to fit inside the head, so what I might do is do 0.15, reduce that to 0.5, reduce that to 0.5, and then we'll see the depth. The depth might be also affecting it. I'm just going to reduce both of them and see what happens. Ooh, we are so getting there. Now it's starting to add that motion. Let's... Ooh, what else? What else we can do? Can we reduce this? Depth, no. We'll do this. We'll actually reduce this to 0.5 so it stops. And then 0.35 on the line art. Yeah, we're getting close. That actually looks pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I mean, these are starting to kind of stay put. Like there's a little bit of motion there, but all in all, that's pretty awesome. Let's go to the next step. So this is going to upscale it with the ultra sharp. So what do we got? Size wise, It's 576 by 344, so it should double that. So this case sampler may take a minute, so I'm definitely cutting from this one. While that's going, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. I'm going to be uploading one of these every day. That way you guys can see my process, as opposed to doing tutorials every single week or like once every couple of weeks. With these kind of videos, you'll be able to see what I do right, what I do wrong. It's not just about always showing you what works 100% of the time. Sometimes we pick up lessons from our mistakes, and most of the tutorials that I put out, I'm usually working on them for about a week, 2 weeks, sometimes even a month to try and perfect these things. And along the way, there's a lot of things I pick up, and there's a lot of things that I kind of either forget or I don't think you guys will need. But then, you know, if you guys are watching my process and there's something that I mess up or something that I discovered, I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. You guys may like it and you may want to use it in your own work. This is the best way to go about it. That way I'm not just putting out tutorials of the things that always work, because sometimes that's not what you need. Sometimes you just need to see how these things work, right? And I'm actually pretty stoked about doing this, because otherwise you only get to see me once every couple of weeks, whereas this way you guys can see me every single day. You can see what I'm doing. I'm on ComfyUI every single day. It's like 7 days a week for me. And if you guys enjoy watching this, please subscribe, recommend it to others. Don't forget to come back every single day and check out the latest video. And let me know in the comments down below what you think of it. Almost done. It actually went a lot faster than I expected it. All right, see what we got. What I might do is, let's open the preview. Loop it. I don't like the tigers in the back, to be honest. I kind of feel that it's ruining the video, whereas I like the character. The character's looking pretty cool. So what do we do? What do we do with this situation? We can start again in Blender and get rid of the background, and then that way it doesn't have anything in the background. Or indeed, let's try deactivating this. Should be relatively quick since we've gotten rid of the depth mask as well now. Which is a shame. It actually looks really good. It's just that these tigers are way too distracting, and I just want it to be like a temple background. Let's see what's happened. That is so cool. Oh, that is awesome. Freaking awesome. All right, so we're going to the next stage now. Boom. Okay, so the depth was what was kind of screwing us up. Now I kind of feel like the depth was actually a good thing for certain, like for certain bits, but it was kind of restricting the size of the character as well. Whereas you can see with the new one, he's pretty jacked. Whereas with the old one, he's kind of the same size as the character we made in Blender. Over here, he just looks like roided out like crazy, which is exactly what I want. I want him to be like a Ninja Turtle, have like insane muscles and like, Street Sharks, that sort of thing, where it's insanely like muscular sort of characters, like mutated characters. That is sick. I love this background lighting as well. It looks like he's about to get, like he's about to kick the living crap out of someone. I should have put this to 24, so that way you can kind of see that he is actually moving rather quickly. It looks like it's going slow, but that's because it's at 6 frames a second. So it will look much faster if I turn this up to 24 frames a second. It'll look like he's speeding right through the thing. But I like the fact that it's actually moving along with him. It's so funny because he's not actually moving in the original video. He's just standing there. But it's kind of like it picks up the fact that he's moving forward. That is so cool. Oh yeah, I forgot to show you this. So with the motion scale in Animate Diff, I put this at 1.5. In I believe yesterday's video I was putting it below 1, but with this one, because I want him to move through the animation much quicker, I put it at 1.5, so that way it gives it more of an action sort of thing. Like, you can mess around with that and see which one gives you the best option for your video. But I am excited about this. This is going to look amazing. I really should try and do this with SDXL, because OpenPose, you can kind of use the SDXL. I don't think this is actually doing much. I got it at 0.35, so whether I turn this on or off, I don't think it's going to make much difference. As long as we have OpenPose, I think that's what's important. Oh yeah, this is what it's going to look. This is what it's meant to look like. But I feel like SDXL would be much better. I just don't know if I'll be able to use this in SDXL. Yeah, we'll see. Do I open up the upscaler? I don't think I do. I think that's the only upscaler I have, is it? Oh no, I've got another upscaler here. I don't know what this one is actually. I don't know where I found it. What's it doing? Because we basically just upscaled it. Now that I think about it, it might actually just be this. I may need to turn this back down. And that's the thing about using like Automatic 1111 or ComfyUI, like pretty much any stable diffusion, or even the other ones really. When it comes to like doing videos, you're going to get a lot of these glitches. So it's a very iterative. It takes a lot of iterations to get this right, and that's, as I was saying in yesterday's video, that's the issue that I have with the paid services, because you do have to go through so many iterations and you have to pay for all of them. It's just like, it doesn't seem fair. You're kind of paying for mistakes. Yeah, I don't know. Now don't get me wrong, I'm sure like they all serve their purposes, but like if you look at things like Sora that's coming out now, they're showing all these videos on Twitter and even YouTube, and they look amazing. They look incredible. I mean, they've got some little glitches here or there, but I have a feeling that like they're just showing you like the best of the best, and they're not showing you everything. Here we go. Much better. Let's put this. I want to see what it looks like going crazy. Yeah. So that's what the frames look like right now. So let's go through. What do we got now? So this is the film VFI. It's going to add the frames in between. It's going to upscale it. Not by a lot though, hopefully. And then we got this next K sampler. Let's give that a go. Let's see what it looks like. You always got like little glitches down here, so you always got to keep in mind the things that are at the bottom, like bottoms or the tops, even the sides. You're always going to have glitches on the side, so you have to kind of crop into it. So what do you guys think? What is your favorite video or AI video generator so far? Like, have you used Pika? Have you used, what is going on here? Oh, yeah. Have you used Pika, Runway ML? Like, there's a whole bunch of them now. Which one's your favorite? Which one do you prefer to use? I have personally tried all of them, and I keep ending up back here. Like, I just feel like I have way more control with ComfyUI, even to a lesser extent, but still got quite a bit of control with Automatic 1111. I just feel like all those paid services, like it's the whole text to video thing is all great and all, but you have absolutely no control over it. So you can't control pretty much everything. So let's say with the videos that Sora's coming out, unless you got like extreme control over every single bit of that video, like they've got one where you've got a truck, I think it's like a full drive going through the forest. Like, how much control do you have over that video? Like, how much control do you have over like how the road looks, the trees, the location, what kind of car it is, like, you know, how the camera actually follows the car. Like, if you're telling me that you need to give it, let's say, a source video so it'll copy that, then it's kind of like, well, we can already do that to a certain extent. Probably not as long as Sora, where it's like a minute. It's got like a minute of a video that it can do like successfully in a row, where we can only do like a couple of seconds, really. If that's the case, then all right, cool. You can feed it a video, it'll copy it. That's fantastic. But if it's kind of like, show me a truck going through the forest, and you have absolutely no control going forward with that video, what are you going to use it for? Like, how good? Like, how much good could it be? Like, how much good could you use that? How much could you use that in your, you know, in your work? If you're trying to make a movie and you have absolutely no control of what that movie is going to look like, then what's the point, right? So that's the issue that I have with those sort of services with Runway ML. Like, yeah, you can do like touch-ups and things as you got, you know, the paintbrush and all that stuff, and same with Pika, and now they've also got sound with Pika, which is great. Like, don't get me wrong, it's freaking amazing. I know that 11 Labs is also doing sound as well, which is great. Like, as in sound for videos. But yeah, I don't think it's going to be the same as, like, you won't be able to replace a person who's creating a soundtrack for your movie. Like, it might be good for, like, let's say a YouTuber like myself, if I've created this video with like a tiger walking forward and like having like all the background sound and everything, like it might be good for something like that, just probably not for what you'd need it like in a professional setting. Eventually, maybe, just not yet. Why are you still here, Tom? Okay, so the final, the final size is actually pretty good. It's 1613 by 936. Let's see what that looks like. So it's kind of ratty at the moment. Because it's upscaled, I'm hoping that this K-sampler will fix quite a bit of the damage. But personally, if I had a little bit more time, or if I wanted to take a little bit more time with this, what I would do is before I put it through this, I would send the 16 frames into Photoshop, or you can do Krita as well, which is great. Now Krita's got the, I think it's got like image generation like included in it as well. And so you can kind of fix this, you know, the frames that are all over the place. And then that way you can send it through to this one. By the time you send it through to this, you've got like pretty good frames. Whereas with this, because it's like all over the place, it's not that great. Let's have a look. So again, we've got 61 frames. And we've got a bit of issues here. See, if it was 16 frames, you'd be able to fix that because it'd just be one frame, and then you'd be able to fix that. I mean, really, like even with these 61 frames, it's this section when the hand or the paw comes up that it messes up. So you could probably, even these 61 frames, you'd probably have about 4 or 5 frames that you'd have to edit. You don't have to edit all of them, and you can kind of fix it before it goes into the next K-sampler. And kind of fix whatever's going on back here. It looks pretty awesome. It doesn't really look like realistic. It kind of looks like a painted, like it's painted. Yeah, kind of like a video game style. I'm not going to complain. I mean, it looks amazing. You can pretty much do any animal, really. And I have a feeling if I had created a depth pass where like the character's actually jacked with like an actual tiger head, that way the line art and depth pass would have been a little bit better. It would have really come across much better. All right, so I'm going to skip ahead now to when this section's done. I'm not sure if I'm going to do this one today, but I'll put it in post. I'll chuck it in there. So I'm kind of running out of time now because it's getting a little bit late. But this has been pretty cool. Learning quite a bit of what I can integrate, what I can't integrate. And just thinking, how fast do I need to make this where it still makes sense, but at the same time, I can get some slowed down versions of it that look pretty cool. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments down below, what do you think of using ComfyUI for video work, video effects work? Is it something that you'd be interested in doing? I have a feeling pretty soon we'll be able to integrate this into, you know, things like movies and TV shows. Probably not yet. I mean, like, this is nowhere near ready, but let's say I wanted to do like cutscenes for a video game. It's pretty close. It's getting pretty close. And if I wanted to do like a stylized short film or even long form film, let's say I wanted to do a feature film that's kind of like stylized like this, it's not that far away if you think about it. Like, it could look pretty cool. It wouldn't look 100% realistic, but it'd definitely be something awesome to see. But again, if you're new to this channel, do not forget, subscribe, and that way you'll be notified of all these videos when they come out. Also, don't forget to check out my Patreon if you want to see other videos. Most of these workflows that I'm creating, I'm actually putting them up on my Patreon. That way you guys can play with these workflows yourself and come up with awesome things. If you do come up with awesome videos using these workflows, let me know. Send them to me. Email them. The email is in my YouTube bio. I'd like to see some of that stuff.